evening. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and I'm here tonight to unbox, oh, there's the box cutter, 2 huge Nitpicks boxes from orders that I've placed in the summer sale. And I know I popped on earlier this week to be like, ooh, the summer sale got better. Well, it got even better than that. Because today they just announced a coupon code for 20% off your Nitpicks purchase. And yeah, it's amazing. I've put a link in my affiliate link in the video description and in the chat, but 20% off. I think the last time that this happened for 20% off your purchase was like one of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales in November. 15% comes around. There was like a make your own grab bag and get 20% off if you got 5 or more skeins of one type. This is 20% off your whole order, and it stacks with the bulk bare yarn discount. How do I know? I'm about to do some unboxing, but I placed an order this morning. I ordered 2 different 20 packs of yarn, and I'm likely gonna assemble my own with some of the sale bare yarns and stuff that they have on hand right now. Oh, it's my pleasure to answer questions. It's part of what I'm here for. So, yeah, I know many of you have been stocking up already, but I was just talking in the ChemKnits Lab Facebook group about how when I placed my first huge order after the Kickstarter, like the next week there was a 15% off coupon. And I was really sad that I had missed out. And some of the other times when they've had good coupons, like the maybe Bear Stroll or something was out of stock. But they just did a big restock in June, so a lot of stuff is in stock right now. So, you know, I go through so much yarn that I try to take advantage of these sales when they come about. But then you get to live vicariously through me and watch me open up the squishies. I believe that this coupon, and the coupon code is summer20. I think that ends at just before midnight Pacific time on the 25th of July. Is what I think. But do see the Nitpicks website for more details. Yeah, so I need to figure out if I need needles for some 2 at a time socks. I think that I might be set, but I need to figure out if I want to use 1 set of needles with magic loop or if I want to do like 2 sets of round needles, circular needles. And then I'm planning a special week sometime before the end of the year. And I've got plans, and so I think I need to order some of them like nicer, like I don't know if Paragon was brought up. I like Paragon, but some of the like alpaca and silk blends, and there's a lot of stuff on sale right now, so I might try to. Yeah, I know I'm going to place another order. Sometimes it gets ridiculous, and then I'll be good for a while because I have to find a place to put all this. But anyway. And I guess full disclosure, I'm a Nitpicks affiliate, and I've been a Nitpicks affiliate since October 2017. However, if you go back and look at the early ChemKnits dyeing videos, they feature Knitpicks yarn, and so I have been using this brand we're coming up on approaching a decade. So I've been a longtime fan, a longtime customer, and yeah, I'm excited to be a stash enabler and encourage you guys to pick up some yarn so you can dye along with me at home. Now, before I start opening up, I wanted to show some other goodies to you guys right now. The first is, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I told a story about a blanket that my grandma made and how I found the instructions for it in my stash, and I just sort of wanted to share the actual blanket with you. It does have the name of the yarn that she used in there, but anyway, I don't think it's not the softest yarn. I don't know if it's wool or what, but you know, this is a nice, lovely hug from my grandma, and I'm not going to talk about it too much more because I don't want to start crying. But I shared a emotional post. But when going through my childhood boxes, I also found this lovely, lovely scarf that I made, which, I don't know, I think I used some like glittery, sparkly acrylic, and I don't know what this yarn is I used in the middle. I think it must have been something I didn't have a ton of. but then I held it double for the middle. And so I actually kind of dig this scarf now. I don't know if I made it in high school or in college or what, but I think that it's, I mean, it doesn't, my dress is pretty busy, so it doesn't really go, but I thought that that was another fun find. And then one other thing, and this is a work in progress with some, actually, this is not ChemKnits dyed yarn, this is ChemKids dyed yarn, but I'm making a cowl, and the pattern, it's a free pattern, you can find it on Ravelry. It's called Autopilot. And I'll have, I guess if you go on my project page, I have some notes about how I'm doing the fade, but the boys, and the videos are on the channel, they each dyed some yarn using purple, some violet, and some green food coloring, and I thought that the yarns would pair well with one another. So this is the Wool of the Andes base, and this is what I am working with right now. So, all right, I'm going to open, which one did I order first? Okay, I'm going to open the bigger one first because I think that this is actually a little less interesting. And by less interesting, I think that there's just fewer, there's more skeins in here, but I think there's fewer things in here. All right. So I got, and so this was the last buy more and save sale, which actually I'm not really having any regret because I had, it was $20 off of 100, which is pretty close to the 20% off that we can get right now. So I got pretty good. I think one of my orders, is this the one? No, I think one of them I got like at 100 and change. I'm like, it's a skill. But yeah, so I got a 20 pack of Nitpicks Wool of the Andes worsted weight yarn. This is one of my workhorse, I consider it a workhouse yarn. I have this in my stash. I always have the bare yarn in my stash these days, but I also have it in multiple solids as well, and I love using it for hats and other heavy use items. And this is actually, as I toss those over there, the yarn that I am knitting with right now. And so it's not, some people think it's rough. I don't. I think it's soft enough that like this cowl is really soft. I was thinking I really want to make a blanket out of it. I think that that would hold up really nicely. But if you want something softer than Swish, which is superwash also, it would be a nice way to work. All right, here's my packing slip. Aha! Oh, I got 5. Okay. So one of the things that is on sale right now as part of the summer sale, and this is not including the coupon code I mentioned, is Nitpicks Wool of the Andes Roving. So this is a roving that I dye in most of my videos. Some of them feature full circle roving, which has been discontinued. But I think at a Black Friday I got like 10 for $1 each or something amazing back in the day. Yeah, but this is the same yarn base as the Wool of the Andes that I've dyed, but it takes up dye beautifully, and it's really, really fun to spin. And so I think, well, one of the hand spuns that's listed in my shop right now might be out of the full circle base, but most of the stuff that I dye and spin is this because it's a nice, affordable 100 gram, I guess, hank of roving. I don't know what you would call them. Yeah, but whatever you call this, I like it. And so I believe that if there's still some in stock, that it's on sale, and then you can get additional discounts. And I got 5 of them. So it's like a, actually, I guess they used a different bag to put it in, but I'm like, woohoo, it's like a half bag of this. And more boxes. And let's see, and the postcard is the one that we've seen a few times already. Okay, this guy has a little more variety in it. And believe it or not, there's another. So it wasn't, maybe did I place it yesterday? I might have placed it yesterday. You just got your box in it, 10 of the Wool of the Andes roving and 5 of the Wool of the Andes yarn, both bare. Woohoo, woohoo! Yeah, I started, right before I did my Kickstarter, I ordered my first 20 pack of yarn. And yeah, that was exciting. But it was previously I'd just been ordering like a few at a time, and I would wind it into mini skeins for my videos. So if you look at the if you look at the true classic ChemKnits dyeing videos back in the day, and you can see how many different stoves make a feature. I don't think my first apartment where I first started dyeing yarns in there, but there's at least, I don't think there's one in there, but there's at least 4 different stoves that have made it into these dyeing videos. So, the problem with, now normally someone might want to open their boxes right side up. I'm opening them upside down, that way just to keep like the address labels and stuff down. But that's why sometimes you can see me do some shenanigans. What? Oh! Okay, so one of the yarns that's currently on sale. Hey, I realized I ordered 4! Oh, okay, one of them that's on sale. This is one that I love. It's like a fluffy cloud. Wait, isn't there one named Cloud? But anyway, maybe that's the lace weight. Andean Treasure. And I know it's all backwards because I'm on my phone and it's flipped. This is 100% baby alpaca. And this is a dream. It's just so soft. And I actually already have some in my stash and I haven't dyed it yet. But it's a little bit on sale, or maybe a lot of it on sale. I forget. Maybe it was like 30% off before, and now there's like with the additional coupons. Is this the order? I think this might have been the order that I got to, yeah. So I got this order to $100.43, and then I got the $20 off. So this is pretty close to a 20% discount, just shy. So I'm not having a lot of regret with that one. I did place an order where I got less than that, but yeah, I got one more on the way. But yeah, this is so soft. And I believe when I mentioned that special week that I'm planning for the end of the year, I believe I'm planning on having this be a part of it. And I'm planning on, what are some of the others that I was thinking? Maybe, maybe gloss and maybe imagination, and I think Capretta, they're discontinuing, but I have some in my stash, so maybe that, and just play around with some of these blends and things that aren't 100% wool or just wool and nylon. So I've got plans for some like treat yourself kind of stuff coming up. Okay, what else is in here? Okay, speaking of treating yourself, and speaking of gloss, I got 2 gloss Roving. And this is, I believe, 30% silk. Yeah, 30% Tessa silk top, 70% merino. And when we're talking about fluffy clouds, this is also very much like a fluffy cloud. I really enjoy spinning silk blends. I haven't dyed silk Roving yet. I've dyed silk hankies, but I found that silk blends spin up really easily, and it's really easy to make the singles thinner. Possibly because the silk is so long and strong that it like holds things together nicely. Okay, the next one, Galileo. This one is 50% merino wool, 50% viscose from bamboo. And I enjoy Galileo a lot because it has like a nice shimmer to it. And I don't think that the viscose takes up food coloring or acid dyes really, but it doesn't remain like the pure bare color. So you end up getting something that feels almost iridescent, and it takes up dye beautifully. The colors might be a little less saturated than if you're using 100% wool, but I love it. And it is currently also the sale yarn of the month. So it's 20% off. And then you could, today and through, I guess, not quite a week, a little less than a week, you can get an additional 20% off. So that's not so bad. You've read that silk needs up to 24 hours to soak before dyeing. It can. I think it can help. I think that if you want even color, and if you want to try to get a solid, then more time soaking is always a good idea. I found that I was dyeing some gloss. Well, so I recently shared Dye Pot PS number 3. And long story short, I had to re-dye some of that for a customer. And because of a slight shop error. And I didn't have it soak for 24 hours. That yarn's only 30% silk, and I found it got pretty nice and saturated faster than that. But I think there's not really a harm in pre-soaking things for 24 hours. But I think that the silk hankies I've done probably needed like about 24 hours. Okay, what else is in here? Aha! Oh. Okay, so I've been on a bit of a cotton kick lately. We've got my vat, and I've got to start editing for Indigo Week this summer. But I guess I got 5 balls of gloss, of dishy yarn in the color, is this Swan? I've only dyed this a couple times. I like it's really soft. I think it's softer than Sugar and Cream. It maybe isn't quite as absorbent as that, but I find that it's a lot easier to soak this than the Simply Cotton organic cotton, which definitely needs a longer pre-soak, and sometimes even then I have trouble getting the dye to go in because the fibers just aren't completely saturated, which can give you a really cool effect, and I still enjoy that. But actually both of those cotton lines I dyed in my indigo vat, but I wanted to have more cotton on hand so that way I've also been playing around with some more natural dyeing and using things in my yard, like I did rhubarb leaves the other day, and I'm planning to use, I saved some of that to use as a mordant, and I think I want to try lilac twigs. Yeah, and so do some experiments with that. But anyway, so I got 5 of those. Yeah, I keep finding like my stash of cotton yarns keeps running really low. So I have like a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, oh, all right, I'm going to do this fade with 5. Oh, I only have 4. So that's been going on. Okay, but I also got, because it was a little more on sale, I got 2 dishy balls in the colorway Silver. And I would say that this is a warm gray. I mean, I guess my lighting's a little yellow right now because of the bulbs and stuff in my living room, so it's hard. It could just be the light, but it's like a nice medium gray that I think would over dye nicely. So I think that starting with a gray base, well, for one thing, if I can help you get sort of a more muted tone. So if you were to over dye this with a neon color or something, you're not going to really get a neon. It'll sort of tone it down a bit. But I like over dyeing gray bases. I think that you can get some really, really stunning colorways that way. So, and I think it was more discounted from the summer sale. So I was like, woohoo, let's get some now. All right, and finally, I have never actually touched this one before. So I got 2 balls of the Bare Andes Delcampo. And this is a rustic, heavy worsted weight yarn that is 100% Highland wool. And I'm not sure what the difference is between this and the bare wool of the Andes that's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. So maybe this doesn't all come from Peru. I guess would be one guess. Although it does say it's made in Peru on the label. So I don't know for sure. But maybe the wool is sourced differently. But this is sort of a more rustic yarn. Wool of the Andes is has 4 plies to it. But this Andes del Campo has 2 thicker plies, which, yeah, makes it feel a little more rustic, but I think would still take up dye really, really nicely. It's got very low twist, so it's very fluffy and lofty. yeah, and I don't think I've ever actually tried it before. Because I was like, oh, it's just like Wool of the Andes in another weight. But I believe it was also on sale now with the big summer sale. So, oh, I did get a little, did I not get a little card? Oh, that's too bad. So I thought I would stock up. But, yeah, let me see. And I don't know if these prices, well, actually, I'm doing like a rough back of the envelope. 40, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, so this is before, I think before the discount, but it looks like that the Andes Delcampo is $4.89 each right now for 100 grams. The Bear Andean Treasure on sale, I think, is $9.79. The Galileo, I think, is $7.19 right now. And the silk roving, the gloss silk roving was $8.39. And that's before the last time I took like the $20 off the $100 order. But this, yeah, now it's 20% off. So I think that if you were to order everything I just took out of this box, you get all of this for $80. If you were to create the exact order that I did. But yeah, I don't get, people sometimes ask if I get extra discounts or anything. I don't. I do, even though I have the affiliate, and so I get like credit if I refer a sale or something, but I don't get any like commissions or anything off of my own sale, my own purchases. That's all. That's all me. But yeah, this now, of course, I have to find a place to put this. Plus well, so I guess this morning I just ordered 2 20 packs, but I ordered a different 20 pack the other day. So that means that I've got 60 more skeins of yarn on their way, and I'm thinking about more. Whoops, in case coming downstairs. Yeah, now actually I'm curious. But if you find that you're dying a lot, the bulk 20 packs are a nice way to go, especially when sometimes they're excluded from certain coupon codes and stuff. Sometimes they're not. Yeah, I don't know why the Swish DK 20 pack, and it's been this way for a little while now. Normally the 20 packs are 15% off, and that's sort of the way it goes. But for some reason, Swish DK is 33% off for the 20 pack. So I have been taking advantage of that. And it can't be an error because I've ordered it twice. So for some reason, that's been heavily discounted. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to be on too much longer. I haven't really been dyeing any yarn this week because I have been organizing. I have been organizing both my studio. I was unpacking boxes from my childhood. I think you can still see like a box in the background from that. And just getting everything organized. So I took the like ChemKnits Creations shop inventory and I resorted it. So that way I have like a bin with fingering weight yarn, a bin with the worsted weight yarn, and then like I just made sure it was assorted in a way to make things easier to find. Because I actually knew where everything was pretty well. So it was somewhat organized, and then like by like when the shop update happened, but I revamped it as I was putting things away and stuff. I've had probably have to share some pictures at some point. And then I have my bare yarn. I have 2 like huge plastic tubs. Things that are in bags have either a shelf that they sit on or a big box that they lay in. But then I have things that are like predominantly wool and wool nylon blends is one box. And then I have another box that's like got the things that might have silk or alpaca or cotton or viscose or something. So that way, I can find ones that I use a lot and ones that I use less. And then I have my stash. So let me put it this way. I have this IKEA like 4x4 shelf, And that's full with like non-bear yarns and hand-dyed yarns by me. I guess one of them is full of bear roving, and one of them is full of like my hand spun of the little like tote things. But yeah, a bunch of from like my alumni club. There's a crafting club, and people are going through like a de-stash right now, and I'm like, well, I just ordered like 100 more skeins of yarn this week. But this means, and the nice thing about all this is that this means that there's a lot of content that's going to be coming up for the rest of the year. And yeah, likely some epic live streams. And as I said, I'm planning something that will come out before the end of the year, which actually is even unrelated to the fact that ChemKnits is going to turn 10 right before New Year's. So I'll have to come up with something special for that too. Hi! So anyway, I'm glad you guys were able to join me as I unbox this and tell you again about another huge Nitpick sale. I think July tends to be like a retail slump for people, and so maybe that's why like there's a lot of good discounts right now. But I'm just in shock that they're doing 20% off, because I thought that was like, maybe I've seen that like at like Black Friday week, Cyber Monday, and maybe they did one extra one right before Christmas last year. Otherwise, there's been like 15% off everything's maybe every other month or so, but this was 20% off. So I'm like, I haven't really ever seen it be better, except for when like for their like very big sale in November, sometimes they'll have like $1 skein like release or something. So this is a big one. I will drop my affiliate link in the video description. You can also find it, or in the chat. You can also find it in the video description. And yeah, if you use the code SUBBER20, and it's at the top of the Nitpicks website, so you'll find it easily, you can get 20% off your order. There are some exclusions, and if you want the free shipping, the free shipping minimums are after other discounts are applied. But yeah, it's pretty nice. So yeah, if you guys have any specific requests over a bear yarn line that you might want to see me dye with, I've got some new ones coming up in videos. There's usually a bit of a lag between when I dye something and then when the video comes out, just because usually I'm filming for like a few months ahead. But yeah, there's some fun stuff coming out. And ooh, the Dye Pot Weekly tomorrow morning is a good one. It's a really, really, really good one. And I think that the yarn is especially pretty. But yeah, I'm just finishing up. But anyway, I think that I am... Oh, can you ask which I prefer? Swish worsted or Wool of the Andes Superwash worsted? Swish worsted. No question. I don't have a huge problem with the Wool of the Andes Superwash worsted, but I'm not sure what the price difference is between that and the Swish right now. The Superwash worsted... Well, okay, right now if you look at so the Swish... Okay, so the Swish worsted is maybe 1.5 times as expensive as the Bare Wool of the Andes Superwash ish. I think Swish is way softer. And the Wool of the Andes Superwash is a nice yarn, but it doesn't really do anything special for me. I mean, one of the reasons why I like Wool of the Andes is that it is feltable. That is a nice benefit. And yeah, I think that if I'm going for superwash, then I may as well go for the merino or something. So that is my personal preference. But one reason why I do like Wool of the Andes Superwash, and why I might pick up some more now that I'm thinking about it, when I place my one more order, is that it's a really nice thing to have for me for dyeing videos to compare superwash to non-superwash, because the base of the Wool of the Andes superwash is the same as the base of Wool of the Andes. It's just one has been treated and the other hasn't. So it's the best comparison I can do for superwash versus non, because even though different breeds of wool actually dye really similarly, there's a video actually on the channel where I looked at, I think, 8 different breeds of wool and then some other things mixed in. The merino versus superwash merino versus Peruvian Highland wool, technically it's, there's more variables in play. So that's one reason why I like to use it. And I mean, I think that, I guess it depends on the project. Like for certain projects, if I wanted something that had, I think the Swish has more drape to it as well. I think that, this is, I call the Wool of the Andes like my workhorse yarn. I use it for toys. I use it for like all kinds of stuff. I use it a lot. But I think that the Switch, like, it has a little more drape. So depending on the type of accessory, then you might want the Swish. Like, part of me, well, not that I mind like a non-superwash one, but part of me was like, ooh, I'm thinking about, I'm working on a cowl design of my own, but I decided not to knit a sample of something I was designing with the stuff that my kids dyed, because I sort of wanted to test out the like fade, like how many rows for the fade and stuff. So I've got some designs in my head going on right now. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. I'm gonna go watch some TV and work on my cowl. And actually, maybe first I will clean up a little bit and then I will go knit. But I hope that you all have a fantastic evening. And thank you. Yeah, you're ready for TV. And thank you so much for joining me. Sorry guys, I am amused. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Link in the video description or in the chat replay, which I'm glad we can now see. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow for a really awesome episode of Dye Pot Weekly. And I will catch you guys later. Bye everyone.